Coming up on this edition of NFL Daily, the latest somehow still on Aaron Rodgers, Trey Hendrickson drama coming again to the forefront, an Asante Samuel update, injury focused here by the way, and Gabe Davis taking a visit. We'll break that down on today's show. Before we get into it, if you want more NFL YouTube videos with the schedule release coming up tomorrow and the offseason kind of entering a bit of a low point, but we'll still do videos for you. Show it. Help us out. Like today's video, please and thank you. Let's once again check in on Aaron Rodgers because mandatory practices are rapidly upcoming and he has not yet officially signed anywhere. There's some theories out there. He said he's going to sign, but he wants to do it after OTAs and minicamp because he doesn't want to go to those, which does track logically, but also, come on, you're the quarterback. Shouldn't you be there in the first place? In general, the Steelers remain viewed as the top team, even after the seemingly debunked report of him joining a local country club per that country club itself. So, it doesn't sound very credible when the club itself is saying that he has not joined there. Although they said they want him there, because of course they do. They know how business works. The Saints have at least been speculatively linked, and I do think it is more speculative than anything else. Aaron Rodgers is a starter. Derek Carr is retired. I'm actually not sure the Saints make a ton of sense for Aaron Rodgers. Frankly, they should be embracing a rebuild. And given the fact that Ryan Ramczyk's retired, now Derek Carr is retired, some of their larger contracts are potentially finally going to be able to come off the books in the next year or two, I think they should be embracing the rebuild and focusing on resetting in a way they should have done when Drew Brees and Sean Payton first left. There is, by the way, this is off topic, but there's a funny alternate universe somewhere in the multiverse where the Saints actually hire Mike McCarthy, and then Aaron Rodgers goes back to reunite with Mike McCarthy. And that might go really badly, but I just wanted to make note of it there. I think the Steelers, as a better football team right now, are the better situation for Rodgers. I think where he would prefer to go very much. It still feels like Steelers or bust for Rodgers this offseason. It's classic Rodgers somehow that he is still unsigned this far into the offseason, but I think it is Steelers or sit around and wait and see if an injury happens. Knock on wood, it doesn't, obviously, this upcoming offseason. It's dragging out. That's how it always goes. Predictions, pinned poll, or pinned comment of today's show. Will Aaron Rodgers end up signing with the Steelers? Y for yes and for no. It is that pinned comment, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Let's move to Trey Hendrickson and the drama that unfolds here. He called out the Bengals very publicly in a statement to ESPN on Monday, and then spoke with media on Tuesday. It's not an accident he happened to be in attendance in golf attire, or at least close to golf attire. The only day media is present at voluntary workouts for the Bengals. Hendrickson told ESPN this in his statement. No communication has taken place between my camp and the organization post-draft. The offers prior to the draft did not reflect the vision that we shared and were promised last offseason if I continue to play at a high level. Coaches are aware of these past conversations. Rather than use collaboration to get to us to point to bring me home to the team, they are no longer communicating. I have been eagerly awaiting a resolution of this situation, but that's hard to do when there is no discussion and evident lack of interest in reaching mutual goals. Hendrickson spoke for about 20 minutes with Bengals media today, and this were kind of the core points of what he had to say. He is not going to play on his current deal. That's his claim. We'll see what happens when push comes to shove time, but he doesn't want to play on the $16, $17 million deal that he's owed when double that is the current market rate, which we'll get into here in a little bit. He thinks things have kind of been made personal. In particular, he was not happy to get a text from head coach Zach Taylor Monday saying, hey, if you don't report for mandatory minicamp a month from now, we're going to have to fine you. He did not like that. He's like, it's 30 days away. That, for Hendrickson, made it seem like the Bengals have no interest, no intent of even trying to work out a different contract right now. He is unhappy with the lack of communication from the team, but pointed to examples like Myles Garrett saying relationships can be fixed, a.k.a. I want to be here, but you have to pay me. So the drama for the Bengals, Hendrickson continues. What do you think the Bengals end up doing here? T for they trade him, they get whatever they can get back and move on. P for they pay him, and money cures all ill will, or W if they kind of do nothing, just sit around and wait. Sound off in the comments of today's show. There's no way around this. This is messy for the Cincinnati Bengals. It also looks doubly bad when your first-round pick did not go to minicamp because his contract talks aren't going well, when there's like 3 things you can actually haggle over for first-round picks. It's just a bad look. The Bengals have, I think, legitimate Super Bowl aspirations if they have Trey Hendrickson. That defense with him last year was bad. Without the sack leader, tossing out Miles Murphy and Shamar Stewart, come on, guys. The Bengals had a lot of drama with the Jamar Chase, T. Higgins contracts. I think they are paying the price for not getting these deals done early. Trey Hendrickson has been awesome in Cincinnati. On a front four that really struggles to generate pressure outside of Hendrickson, all he has done is produce. 17.5 sacks this past year, same in 2023. This is one of, I think, the most underrated players in the NFL because he didn't have the same, first-round pedigree. The Saints allowed him to walk, goes to the Bengals. Has been awesome. The market has not gone in the Bengals' favor. Max Crosby getting a third contract at $35.5 million. Danielle Hunter getting a 1-year deal, but still getting the deal at $35.6 million. I think any number for Hendrickson starts with a 3. I think it has to. $30+ million. I think that's a more than fair. That's actually probably less than fair, even. Market minimum for Hendrickson to get. More than fair probably becomes like $36 million. Like, if you're the Bengals, like, I think you misplayed it. You misplayed the T. You misplayed Jamar Chase. You misplayed Hendrickson. Get that one done, or the defense is going to be shaky. Joe Burrow will have a press conference next week. You know he's going to be asked about Trey Hendrickson. He went to bat for Chase and Higgins very publicly. I bet he does the exact same thing for Trey, too. Now, you can get NFL rookie jerseys by going to chatsports.com/NFL jersey, the official NFL licensed rookie jerseys for all the different players, all the different teams as their numbers get finalized and sent in. And for some, it's been more of the pre-order series. Like George Pickens will be high on that list, by the way. It is sorted by most popular, so you're going to see George Pickens up there. You'll see Shedeur Sanders up there. Search, filter by your team. Either way, go to chatsports.com/NFL jersey today. The latest now on Asante Samuel. He took a visit to the Saints on Monday. Clear indication of some interest there. But I think the real news is from ESPN, who broke the news on the Samuel visit, about his injury status. That update is that Asante Samuel had neck surgery in April, has a checkup scheduled for July, which is just every red flag manageable. A neck injury for a corner? That's not good. This very much explains why he is unsigned and why it's going to be a cheaper 1-year contract, because no one's going to commit multiple years for a neck injury. And at that point, Samuel's probably better off doing the 1-year deal and try to cash in again next offseason. He dealt with stingers in both shoulders this past year. He said it was a lifelong condition, which, red flag again, by the way. It's probably all connected. Whatever caused the stingers in the shoulder led to the neck surgery, whether pinched nerve or something they're trying to relieve. I don't know. That's a huge red flag for me. Samuel's been a bit up and down over the course of his NFL career. Highly drafted player, second rounder at FSU. Obviously, we all know who his dad is. Didn't play much last year. This is the checkup is in July. Teams are not going to sign him until after that checkup, I would assume. So we'll see, but might be a bit of a waiting game here for Asante Samuel Jr. Now that we know the actual details of the injury. So where will he end up signing, if anywhere? Let me know in the comments of today's show. Another free agent update here on Gabe Davis, recently cut by Jacksonville after a failed signing. Let's call it what it is. He took a visit with the San Francisco 49ers. Last 4 years for Gabe Davis, he showed some flashes in Buffalo. The big playoff game, I think, has kind of boosted his stock. He was a bit of a non-factor, though, in Jacksonville, and they chose Diami Brown over Gabe Davis, basically, which I was a bit surprised by. The Niners, meanwhile, Brandon Ayuk's probably going to miss some time to begin the year. So that leaves Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings in line for a big role, Demarcus Robinson. They drafted Watkins or Jordan Watkins out of Ole Miss in the 4th round, I believe. other younger depth pieces, Jim Cowing, Trent Taylor's there. It's kind of an interesting crop of players behind them. Davis kind of feels like a bring him in. Maybe he competes for early season 3/4 role as kind of that outside vertical threat, which I think they want Ricky Pearsall to be that guy, but he's got slot value too. So I'm very curious in kind of a remodeling year for San Francisco what that wide receiver room ends up looking like. Before we go, we are 875 subs away from 410,000 here on Chat Sports. Join the crew. Hit that sub button for more free NFL YouTube videos.